And those cold temperatures that he just talked about, well, that's a hot topic. You could certainly be in a dangerous situation if you're outside for long periods of time.
Well, Dallas Payton spoke with a health expert about those dangers.
To protect yourself from below freezing temperatures outdoors, dressing in layers will be the best way to do so instead of wearing a bulky jacket or coat to stay warm. Dr. Doug Gregory, who's an emergency medicine physician at Erlanger, says not dressing properly in cold temperatures could result in hypothermia or frostbite. For those working outside, the worst thing you can do is generate a sweat, as being cold and wet can trigger hypothermia.
When you start to get beyond those initial stages of being cold, true hypothermia, you actually stop shivering, which is kind of an unusual thing that happens. That's a sign that your body's actually really starting to shut down. And then people will start to get confused. And then, of course, you have all the things that are going on inside the body.
Dr. Gregory says frostbite isn't a huge concern in our area because we don't sustain low temperatures. But there's a possibility this weekend. Frostbite is the skin itself starting to freeze. Eventually, the skins become tender and painful.
You start to lose sensation, and then losing color of your skin is a sign that frostbite is starting to happen. And a lot of times you'll see that if it's windy and cold, places that are exposed like cheeks. So you'll start to see little pale spots develop, and that's a sign of skin damage and skin freezing happening.
If you experience hypothermia or frostbite, Dr. Gregory suggests checking into a hospital to be rewarmed.
One of the worst things that can happen is they get really cold, those things happen, they get kind of halfway warm again, and then they get cold and reverse the process.
On top of wearing layers in the cold, taking care of your body the same way you do in the summer will help you stay warm.
Actually, in the wintertime, cold air is so much drier, you lose more water through breathing, and our bodies really depend on hydration and honestly calories to keep ourselves warm. Like the furnace has got to be stoked on the inside. It's got to be running full steam to keep yourself warm outside when it's this cold.
For Local 3 News, I'm Dallas Payton.